Tired of feeling disconnected from your true purpose? Imagine discovering a hidden matrix of authentic living, a framework that reveals the profound principles governing your reality. This video explores the revolutionary ideas of Blavatsky, offering a roadmap to personal truth and a richer, more meaningful existence that goes beyond the superficial. The modern search for the authentic self. Why does it feel so elusive? We chase after external answers, but authenticity is an internal frequency, a resonance with the soul. Today, we introduce Helena Blavatsky, not just a historical figure, but a beacon for profound truth. The spirituality she proposes is a science of consciousness. What if the key to unlocking your true self was written over a century ago? That's what we will unveil now, on a path of spiritual awakening. But to begin this awakening, it's fundamental to understand that authenticity is not a quest, but a revelation. This is where we unravel the matrix. The great deception of our time is confusing our social identity with the living soul. Superficial personal development only reforms the ego, but the matrix of authenticity demands an alchemy of consciousness. Helena Blavatsky, with Theosophy, poses a radical challenge. Authentic living is not what we do, but who we are when we stop doing. She invites us to understand the deepest layers of reality and personal truth. The authentic self only emerges in inner silence. The world teaches us to be vessels full of beliefs and titles, but ancient wisdom reminds us, the vessel that is only useful because it has empty space. You are not looking for a new door. You are just dusting off the one that has always been there, in the temple dwelling in the silence of your chest. All inner transformation begins with the act of honoring stillness, the principle of presence. What is the unnecessary weight you are carrying because you fear dwelling in the lightness of your authentic self? What makes this lightness so rare is the layer that blinds us. To find the matrix, we must first break free from what covers us, the veil of superficiality. We live under what Blavatsky called the veil. Social conditioning, fear, and the ego blind us to the totality of being. Validating the pain, feeling that something is missing, even when everything is right, is the sign that your being is knocking against the veil. Blavatsky's cosmic project, with the 7 principles of man, offers us an anatomy of the soul, showing that the ego is only one of the 7 notes. Suffering emerges when we confuse the passing note, the reactive self, with the entire symphony, consciousness. The practical application is immediate and finds resonance in Seneca. The Stoic teaches us that, beneath the veil of passions and reactions, we lose emotional lucidity. The understanding of the multifaceted self, in theosophical teachings, strengthens the power of Stoic active acceptance. As Seneca warned us, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Insert quote. The veil is that imagination that tortures us. If the self is complex, the answer cannot be simplistic. The veil is not a brick wall. It is a fog of false perceptions. True inner listening dissipates that fog. Remember, you are not broken. You are transforming. However, transforming and dissipating this veil requires more than just an insight. It requires a continuous act of courage and mastery over one's own life. It demands that we conquer inner sovereignty. Inner sovereignty is the ability to govern oneself from the soul, and not from external chains. Blavatsky was radical in deconstructing dogma. Spiritual truth needs no intermediaries. The power of introspection and self-responsibility is the engine of this path. Seneca reinforces that freedom is not in doing what one wants, but in not wanting what one cannot have. It is the discipline of the soul. Blavatsky taught the principle of causation, karma, which is the spiritualization of self-responsibility. With every choice, we are not attracting luck, but rather activating a law. The practice of this law, along with Stoic ethics, strengthens personal autonomy in a world of pressures. It is a matter of ethical boldness, for, as Seneca states, it is not because things are difficult that we do not dare, it is because we do not dare that they are difficult. Insert quote. The awakening of consciousness is this movement of taking the reins of your own life, challenging the inertia of fear. The mountain is the archetype of wisdom and stability. Sovereignty is you becoming the mountain, firm, unchanging, while the storms of life and the opinions of the world, the wind, pass all around you. This journey of inner reform, this Stoic and Theosophical wisdom, is not a museum piece. Its legacy is a living resonance that reaches us with urgency today, proving the timelessness of the search. Blavatsky's legacy is a surprising influence on modern thought, from mindfulness, the cultivation of presence, to the search for a deeper meaning in life. Her work was one of the first bridges between Eastern wisdom and the Western mind. It is crucial to dispel the common misconceptions and myths that surround her controversial figure. True theosophy is not performative esotericism, but a contemplative and ethical spirituality that integrates philosophy and the search for the self. Blavatsky and Stoicism agree. Authentic life is lived in integrity, not in performance. Why is her approach to an authentic life more relevant now than ever? Because we are living in a saturation of information, but a scarcity of silent wisdom. Blavatsky's urgency for a universal truth, free from fixed doctrines, is the antidote to the polarization and dogmatism of our era. What is the internal dogma that, today, prevents you from recognizing the truth in all traditions, including your own soul? The recognition of this truth is, in itself, a deep calling, a call to move wisdom from the mind to action, living your authentic self today. The awakening of consciousness is not completed with insight, but with action. The true test of a philosophy is how it translates into daily practices. How to start integrating Blavatsky's principles into your daily life. The Stoic pause. Before reacting to an external pressure, pause. Ask yourself, is this the passing self, ego, or the eternal self, consciousness, speaking? Seneca would call this the anticipation of adversity. Observing the veil. Identify a social conditioning you live by, fear of not succeeding, need for approval, and ask, is this my truth or my veil? Cultivating silence. Conscious silence is the one tool that Blavatsky and all the great masters agree is essential. Reconnection is an act of quieting the external noise. Letting go is like opening the hands from an invisible knot that held the heart. Let go of the need to have to be, in order to simply be. Remember, what matters is not the time, but the quality of your presence. As the great Stoic teaches us, life is like a play. It's not the length, but the excellence of the acting that matters. A life truly aligned with your deepest, most authentic self. This is the only personal development that truly matters. We have arrived at the crucial point. The matrix of authentic living is within you, in your inner temple. It is not a place to be reached, but a presence to be cultivated. The inner path is one of acceptance without clichés. Inhale deeply, feeling the air as the breath of your soul. Exhale, releasing the need to be who the world wants you to be. Repeat the anchor. The soul is not in a hurry. It has rhythm. Let kindness to the now be your practice. What do you choose starting today? To continue in the echo of expectations, or to accept the invitation to be the magician of your own reality, living the spiritual truth that pulses in your chest? If something within you calmed or awakened upon hearing these words, allow yourself to continue. Subscribe to the channel and activate notifications to walk with us along this road of fertile silence, discoveries, and reconnection. Leave your experience in the comments. Your sharing is also a seed of healing for other hearts. And if you are looking for a safe haven to nourish this newly lit flame and find those who walk on the same frequency, Our community is the sanctuary where fertile silence is shared and deepened. And to keep expanding your sanctuary of clarity, we suggest the video in the card. May it be a breath, peace and light.